The girls' gays and theys in STEM, how to better support the next generation. In the face of the dude bro culture of many STEM disciplines, women and LGBTQ individuals are finding themselves in spaces that are less than accepting of their identities and contributions. As educators, we have a hand in changing that narrative. A diversity of perspectives are proven to create better science.
So to start us off for the girls, we all know that females in STEM, they are entering this male-dominated field, and it's no coincidence. And we found 6 key elements that have an impact on females' choices. And one of them is the media, which can be like social media or TV shows and movies. And this contributes to like the lack of role models as well, and also just misconceptions and stereotyping of the field, and gender bias in curriculum materials, which could be like textbooks and like pictures and things like that. And then an influence of community and school experiences, because we all know that everyone has their own unique experiences. And then the 3 stages of filtering out females in STEM are defined as access, participation, and progression. So access is while all students have the same curriculum in elementary school, by high school, less women are taking STEM courses. And then participation, by university, less women are electing to focus on STEM topics. And then progression, from the women who study STEM subjects in college, only some of those women will actually go on to careers in their field. So basically, starting from elementary school all the way to high school and then college and then careers, there's just a drastic decline in women that are fully finishing and pursuing into the careers. And an interesting statistic we found was that women and minorities today constitute about 70% of college students, but earn only 45% of STEM degrees.
And then for the gays section, we define the gays to be individuals that are attracted to the same sex. And so with the research that we have done, some of the information provided on the infographic tells us that gay men are 12% less likely to have completed a bachelor's degree in a STEM field in comparison to heterosexual men. LGBTQ plus individuals are 41% more likely to experience insomnia, 30% more likely to experience a depressive symptom in the past year, 22% more likely to have felt nervous or stressed from work. And this was in comparison to non-LGBTQ plus individuals in STEM. And then an additional fact was that gay male representation in STEM fields is positively associated with female representation in those same STEM fields.
Moving on to the they section, with the theys, we're referring to any individual who identifies as a gender other than the one they were assigned at birth, be that gender queer, gender fluid, non-binary, or trans. Within this, we found that in our research with experiences of genderqueer, non-binary individuals in STEM, they felt like their identity does not belong in a science environment because of the perceived impartiality or subjectivity of STEM. So essentially, because what they're working on is science, they don't feel like their identity plays into that at all. Another fact is only 14% of LGBTQ individuals in STEM professions feel comfortable being completely out in all personal and professional environments. And 70% of LGBTQ individuals in STEM reported that they thought discussions of gender identity or sexual orientation in the workplace were unprofessional. With all of that in mind, how can educators help? One thing that educators can have is better representation. So STEM disciplines that have a greater representation of cis women are proven to have a greater level of comfort, openness, and being out among LGBTQ individuals. Representation of LGBTQ faculty is also instrumental in supporting and keeping LGBTQ students on campus. As educators, if we're part of the LGBTQ community and feel comfortable, one way to support our students in STEM fields is to be out and to be the representation that they need. Being visible to students empowers them to fully show up in the classroom.
Another way that educators can help is by having inclusive visuals in their classrooms. Research shows that many gender and sexual minorities feel unseen, unwelcome, or unsure in science. In order to make our students feel more comfortable in science spaces, we can display inclusive visuals that dismantle the white supremacist patriarchal expectations that affect LGBTQ lives. By putting up posters that explicitly welcome women and LGBTQ individuals, we are making a more inclusive environment for everyone.
And then our last call to action of how educators can help is with mentorship and support. So not only do students need to know that we see them and accept them, but they need to know that we as educators are fully here to support them in any capacity they need. Mentorship programs between women and LGBTQ individuals can provide beneficial opportunities for the mentor, mentee, and the institution. Mentorships help break down specific roadblocks in pursuing STEM, like making job connections and having lab experience. And then lastly, we found that having support groups or groups of peers on campus has been shown to be vital for maintaining the health and well-being of LGBTQ STEM students. By having a role in creating and sustaining these groups, educators are committing to supporting their students beyond the classroom.